5 points per game, and Carter Smith, 6'2" sophomore, at Hill and Coleman Lloyd, also Reed Lemony and Nick Anton also off the bench. So if a game comes to a game where depth is an issue, what have you, certainly West has an advantage in this one.
Yeah, it certainly looks that way, and when you look at the starters that they're rolling out here tonight, Howard, the size looks...
We're able to get some good inside looks and touches based on that size factor. For New Lex, you've got really inside Eli Stevens, the 6'4" sophomore, and then Malachi Thresher off the bench. Could this game really come down to who's got the most rebounds, who's got the tremendous looks inside for the in order to enroll? The scoreboard tonight is sponsored by 740 Thread Company, which is a Junction City company. They're your local expert in custom printed and embroidered apparel. Finally, South 60, which is us. We are the official streaming partner of New Lexington Athletics. Looking ahead down the road, by the way, tomorrow night, Marcus McPeck and Ted Snyder will have a girls contest that will be from West Muskingum, as the Lady Panthers of New Lex will travel to the Lady Tornadoes of West Muskingum. And the next Saturday night, Ted and myself will be back here where the Panthers will be in a non-league game, as they will host the Columbus Bishop Wattersons. They are just rounding into football shape. As a matter of fact, this Friday night, December 13th, Watterson's first game, so they're just getting their football legs underneath them.
Yeah, the Eagles of Bishop Watterson just capped off a Division III state football championship, defeated Toledo Central Catholic in doing so, and so now they're just now getting started, as you mentioned, in the basketball season.
Ted, when we look at this contest, as we get down ready for the start of the basketball game, what do you see are really the strengths and the keys for both teams?
For New Lex, it's their three-point shooting. They were ice cold a week ago and still were in that game all the way through. So as soon as the Panthers find their rhythm from distance, they have multiple guys that can shoot it from out there. That's what they prefer to do. We haven't seen West Muskingum yet, but they under a first-year head coach. I'm really, really excited to see how they operate.
We did have a chance to talk to a couple of fans. We are on the west side, and they seem to be very pleased with the program's direction and how things are going. The kids seem to be taken to Coach Kelsheimer's system. They have a freshman team, we are told, which is the first time in a while. So good things happening over in Tornado Land. We are just moments away from the start of the basketball game. We are going to have the national anthem. So again, tonight, here on South 60 Films, it is West Muskingum traveling to New Lexington. We are going to break for the anthem. We'll come back and start the basketball game, so please stay with us.
Between your New Lexington Panthers and the West Muskingum Tornadoes. To honor America, please stand and join in the playing of our national anthem. Today's game is sponsored by the Ohio High School Athletic Association. Your attendance and support of
for the
appreciated.
basketball game, an NBL contest between West Muskingum and New Lexington here at New Lexington High School. Outstanding job by the band from New Lexington. It's always a great atmosphere, Ted, when high schools have a band in the gym.
I agree.
It just really brings out the excitement for the crowd, and I think as we have discussed, this will be an excellent basketball game. I think perhaps the early going, maybe either team trying to figure out what the other one's doing or something like that. Maybe a slow start, I don't know.
Well, New Lex has 4 games under their belt. The Tornadoes have 3 up to this point in the season, so hopefully some of that rust will begin to shake itself off. But, you know, a week ago, Tri-Valley, it was their very first game of the season, and they came in here on the road and beat a very good New Lex team. So team's got to be ready to go each and every night when it comes to NBL action.
New Lexington hosting West Muskingum. The Tornadoes being introduced. They will be in the blue uniforms with the gold numerals and trim. And they will start. The Tornadoes will with Cade Porter, a 6-foot junior. Jake Anton, a 6'3 senior. Tavin Bennett, a 6'4 junior. Kyle Porter, a 6'3 junior. And Carter Smith, a 6'2 sophomore. The New Lexington Panthers under Coach Jeremy Dewar, they'll go with 6'1 senior Isaiah Stevens, their leading scorer on the season. 5'10 senior Bentley Hansen, he is their second leading scorer at 14 points per game. Lane Ratliff, a 5'10 sophomore, he will be on the perimeter. Also starting 6'4 sophomore Eli Stevens, and Paul Stenson will round it out, the 6'2 junior. So New Lexington in the home white with the black numerals and trim, and we are getting ready to tip this one off. It's an NBL contest between the West Muskingum Tornadoes, 2-1 on the season. New Lexington Panthers, 2-2 on the season. Tornadoes 1-1 in NBL play, 0-1 away. New Lexington 2-2 on the season, 0-2 in NBL play, 1-1 at home. And we are set to begin the basketball game. Isaiah Stevens will tip it off for the Panthers. He will go up against Carter Smith for the Tornadoes. Tip underway, controlled by West Muskingum, stolen away by New Lexington immediately. Turnover back to the Panthers. Looks like man-to-man for West. With the balls, Isaiah Stevens. He will get a screen on top from Eli. Now Eli holds, takes 3 dribbles with the left hand, kicks back to Bentley Hansen, who will pick it up. Hansen holds, over to Hansen, drives inside on the left, goes into Eli Stevenson, kicks it out on the baseline to Ratliff, back inside to Stevens, little jump hook up and in.
First bucket of the night from the young sophomore. It's got to be great news for Jeremy Dewar, getting points early from Eli.
Man for New Lex, ball on the right side, and a call on a whistle inside that will go against the New Lexington Panthers on a push.
They're going to get Paul Stenson. A week ago, Howard, he got 2 early fouls, did Stenson. It kind of disrupted the New Lexington rotation. So let's keep an eye on Stenson, see if he picks up that second foul.
Lob inside for Smith. Turn around on the way, no good. Rebounded on the floor to Hansen. Hansen crosses the timeline, left to right dribble, crosses over, picks up the dribble, goes on top to Eli Stevenson. He will hand to Ratliff. Ratliff drives and kicks to Hansen on the baseline. Nothing there, so he will go back to Ratliff, who will kick to Hansen. He will swing and then get a screen and roll. Isaiah Stevens and Eli Stevens. Now Eli will muscle his way inside. Missed the shot. Rebound by Carter Smith. Here come the Tornadoes on the run. Down 2 with 6:35 to go here in a quick first quarter. 2-0 in favor of New Lex. Holding the ball is Jake Anton. Anton picks it up, goes inside to Carter Smith. Back to the corner, and then a 3-ball on the way, and no good by Kyle Porter. Ball knocked out of bounds. It will go to New Lexington, says official Buddy Spraggins.
See Carter Smith involved early. Big rebound inside. This kid is just a sophomore, Howard, but you'll be hard-pressed to find someone who plays with more energy and more passion than Carter Smith. He's a real spark plug.
Looks to be kind of tough inside, too. That's Hansen with the dribble. Drives all the way to the basket and is fouled on the way, so he will get a pair. I think that personal is going to go against Cade Porter of the Tornadoes. That would be his first and team's first here in the first quarter. A couple of free throws coming for Bentley Hansen. New Lexington with the early lead, 2-0, 6:06 to go here in the first frame. First free throw's good.
The Panthers are excellent at the line as a team, Howard. They shot over 70% as a team a year ago, and Hansen and Stevens individually shot over 80. So they are very, very good at the free throw line.
One more coming for Bentley Hansen. 3-0, New Lexington with the lead. And the second one is perfect, 4-0. New Lexington will fall back into the man-to-man. With the basketball as Jake Anton crosses the timeline. Will go right to left back and then drive inside. Nice job by Ratliff, but a push as he tries to get baseline. So that personal foul goes against Lane Ratliff. That's his first, team's second here in the first quarter. Inbounding will be Kyle Porter for the Tornadoes. Looks, finally gets it. And then New Lexington will fall back into the man-to-man. With the basketball is Kyle Porter. Gets the screen on top from Smith. Smith gets it, goes inside, partially blocked, knocked around, and then knocked off of New Lexington. So the Tornadoes, a little bit of a break because there was some action inside. Could have been a personal foul call, but instead they keep the basketball. And they will go on top, and then a steal by Isaiah Stevenson. He is double teamed and then travels. Couple of tough breaks going against the Panthers here in this first quarter. 5:38 to go, and West still scoreless. And we'll go on top to Carter Smith. He is being guarded by Eli Stevens. A couple of the big guys out, and he just takes him to score, but misses the shot. Rebounded by Stevens, and he will give to brother Isaiah, who gets the screen on top from Eli. Goes right to left, then all the way to the basket. Scoop shot up, no good. Rebounded by West Muskingum's Tavin Bennett. And here come the Tornadoes, back the other way. They will go inside to Carter Smith. Carter Smith again muscles his way around, blocked by Eli Stevens. A lot of action going on inside, Ted.
Sure is. A reckless pass there from Stevens. Eli unable to accept that pass. Yeah, but a lot of action inside here early, Howard. A lot of physicality in the early going.
Yeah, and let's pay attention to how this game is being officiated. So far, it's being officiated, let them tumble and rumble inside. We shall see. 4:50 to go here in the first, 4-0 New Lexington. Eli Stevens out on the perimeter with Kyle Porter. Porter goes right to left and then back on the other side to Cade Porter. And then to the corner. Drive inside by the Tornadoes, up, no good. That was Connor Hill who's checked in. Rebound off to the Panthers. Both teams are very cold here in this first one. Bentley Hansen drives inside, whistle.
So they can get a reach-in foul against the Tornadoes.
Yep, and that's Mr. Jeremy Purrier on the whistle. And that personal foul goes against West Muskingum's Connor Hill. Inside again, they will go. Ball is blocked. Ratliff gets his own rebound though and puts it back in. Lane Ratliff has a basket. It is 6-0 in favor of New Lexington. 4:05 to go here in the first quarter. Holding is Jake Anton on top. Looks inside, nothing there now. Stolen away by the New Lexington Panthers. Bentley Hansen takes his time across the stripe, gets the screen on top, the ball screen, goes to the right side. Long shot on the way is perfect. That is Eli Stevens with the tray. And West Muskingum is going to take a timeout, down 9-0. So, my friend, if you're West Muskingum, you got a TO going. What are you talking about with your gang?
Well, Connor Hill just checked in a moment ago for Carter Smith, and I think head coach just wanted to talk to Carter Smith and kind of calm him down and settle him down and make sure he plays within himself. He's going to check right back into the game here, and I think it's probably the discussion that's going on down there now. You know, just do what we do. Don't get outside our comfort zone, and we'll be fine.
From the looks of it here in this first quarter, it appears as though the game plan for the Tornadoes is really go inside.
Yeah.
Carter Smith's had several looks inside and good touches. He hasn't been able to connect, but it looks as though the game plan is to really feature him with his physicality, trying to perhaps get Eli Stevens in foul trouble.
Yeah, he's a big kid, very athletic, exceptional jumping ability. He just needs to learn to play under control. Probably the discussion they were just having.
And when you look at Eli Stevens, he's been setting a lot of ball screens out on top and really banging away inside. He takes a seat. His stamina is going to really be a major factor in this one.
Yeah, Malachi Thresher's checked in for him.
Carter Smith gives inside. Ball shot miss. Connor Hill on that rebound to Bentley Hansen. 9-0 New Lex. Hansen goes inside, shoot up and good. Bentley Hansen on a scooper. 11-0 in favor of New Lexington here in the first. 3 minutes to go. Carter Smith drives baseline, loses his dribble, and travels. And ball back to the Panthers. They'll get a couple of subs. For West Muskingum, it'll be Coleman Lloyd checking in. Also Kyle Porter checking back in for New Lexington. West Muskingum will press. They will fall back now into the straight man-to-man. Bentley Hansen, 3 minutes to go first quarter. 11-0 New Lexington over West Muskingum. Ball on the left wing, Isaiah Stevens.
That's
and
a travel.
He will travel, yep.
Excellent defense by Jake Anton, man-to-man, against one of the NBL's best scorers, Isaiah Stevens.
Yeah, he made that ill-fated mistake, got inside and tried to make a spin move, however, picked up his dribble and then the subsequent travel. So West Muskingum with an opportunity to put the ball in the basket here. They will go on the baseline, shot up, no good. That is by Connor Hill, but he will be fouled and I think go to the line for a couple of free throws. Connor Hill.
Once the Tornadoes,
go ahead, please.
Once the Tornadoes finally see one go through the hoop, it may change their mindset and confidence a little bit here, Howard. So maybe Connor Hill can knock these two charity tosses down and send the Tornadoes on their way.
He is fouled by his counterpart, number 11. That's Corey Adams. Adams first here in first quarter. Free throw is missed by Connor Hill. One more coming for Hill. In and out, no good. Rebounded by Bentley Hansen for New Lexington. 2:30 to go here in the first quarter. That is Ratliff on top and then swing it over to Eli Stevens. Back to Ratliff. He'll pull from 15, no good. Rebounded by the Tornadoes, Jake Anton. And we'll go to the corner. Ball knocked around, knocked out of bounds. Back to New Lexington. Boy, you couldn't ask for a worse start if you're West Muskingum. Ouch.
Yeah, they just can't find the rhythm offensively right now.
That is Bentley Hansen with the left hand dribble. Ball now to the right side to Lane Ratliff. Ratliff goes inside, wide open, shot up and in. And that is Malachi Thresher on a little backdoor cut.
I think
West Muskingum falling asleep.
I think that was Connor Hill's assignment. He lost sight of him. He slipped back door for the easy two.
Ball swing around to the corner, blocked by Eli Stevens on the shot. And it's back to New Lexington, 13-0. They lead 1:35 to go here in the first quarter. Shot up and in, it's good. On the drive is Bentley Hansen, and he'll go to the line for the deuce and one.
A week ago, they couldn't buy a basket early. And the New Lexington Panthers really attacking the basket in the first quarter of this one tonight, earning some trips to the line as well as getting some easy buckets to go down in the paint.
That's Coleman Lloyd's personal foul. And that is the team's fourth. And the free throw by Hansen's good. He has 7 points here in the first quarter. And West Muskingum now crosses the timeline with 1:25 to go. It is Jake Anton. Goes to the left side for Tavin Bennett. Bennett drives, kicks over to Kyle Porter. Porter goes inside to Anton, then a hold goes against, I believe, Lane Ratliff, and that would be his second here in the first quarter. And he will be substituted for immediately as Paul Stenson will return for New Lexington. Officials say the foul was on the floor.
A couple fouls early for Lane Ratliff. They really rely on him defensively a lot to guard the perimeter players.
Inbounds, lob to Carter Smith. Goes inside, shot up is no good, but he is fouled. They're going to line for a pair.
Is there a lid on that rim down there on that side, Howard?
Wow. Yeah, I mean, they haven't been horrible shots.
No.
They just haven't gone in. Personal foul goes against New Lexington's Malachi Thresher, and a couple for coming Carter Smith. They buries the first one, so West Muskingum on the board. It is 16-1 with 1:07 to go here in the first quarter from New Lexington High School. South 60 Films, your exclusive partner, NVL basketball. Second one also in.
If you're Jeremy Dewar, you can't allow your kids to be too overconfident or too complacent in this situation when they have a big lead early.
Isaiah Stevens has 3 points on the first quarter stat bar. Bentley Hansen gets the screen, drives inside, picks up the dribble, kicks over. Ball back on top to Hansen. Thinks about the three, holds on top now with Isaiah Stevens, and 40 seconds to go here in the first quarter. 16-2 New Lexington. There's that spin dribble again by Stevens, and ball reversed from Paul Stenson on top to Bentley Hansen. Clock at 25 seconds to go here in quarter number one. New Lexington appears as though they're going to play for the final shot here in the first. Hansen holds, now goes to Stenson. Stenson over to Eli Stevens. Clock now at 10 seconds, so they're going to go, says Coach Dewar, so let's get it done. Here's Stevens, right to left dribble, drives inside, hammered, and will go to the line for a pair.
It's hard to tell who that foul is going to be called on. They're a trio of tornadoes at the mesh point there near the rim.
Yeah, there was help, but the help was a little bit late. And Stevens will go to the line for a couple of free throws.
Tornadoes have been committed to that man-to-man the entire first quarter, and I got to say, Jake Anton's done a great job on Isaiah Stevens. That's just his fourth point. He hit a three early in the quarter, but very quiet.
He has one more coming, the left-hander. And in and off the rim, no good. Rebounded back to Stevens, shot up at the buzzer, no good. So after 1 quarter of play, wow, if you're a New Lexington Panther fan, it is 17-2, Ted. And it wasn't a case of really bad shots. Horrible defense by West Muskingum. Shots just didn't go in.
Absolutely, I agree. A dream start if you're Coach Jeremy Dewar, but as I mentioned a moment ago, I think his biggest challenge is going to be keeping his kids in the game mentally and not allowing them to assume the remaining 3 quarters are going to go just like the first quarter went.
Tonight's game is presented by the 21st Century Program at New Lexington High School, where you can enroll simply by calling the high school. The scoreboard to this one is sponsored by 740 Thread Company, a Junction City company. They're your local experts in custom printed and embroidered apparel. And finally, South 60 Films is the official streaming partner of New Lexington Athletics. So in that first quarter for the Panthers, they are led by Bentley Hansen with 7, Isaiah Stevens with 4, 2 points for Lane Ratliff, 2 points for Eli Stevens, and 2 points for Malachi Thresher. For the Tornadoes, they are scoreless from the field, 2 of 2 from the line for Carter Smith, 0 of 2 from the line for Connor Hill. A very animated Jackson Kelsheimer for the Tornadoes, not happy with his guys.
Yeah, but if you're first-year head coach Jackson Kelsheimer, you got to say, hey, we didn't even make a field goal. We're only down 15 points. I mean, we can only get better from here. So, and knowing these kids out here that most of them played football in the fall, there's no quit in these Tornadoes.
It will be New Lexington basketball to start the second quarter. Eli Stevens is checked back in. Isaiah on the backdoor pass. It's stolen away. Nice defense that time by Connor Hill. Here comes Carter Smith on the run. Misses the shot and are rebounded off to the Panthers. Isaiah Stevens with the basketball. Just beginning the second quarter. He will be on the right side to Stenson, on top to Bentley Hansen. Hansen drives in with the left hand, loses it. Picked up by the Tornadoes, Kyle Porter. Now West Muskingum back with the basketball. On top to Porter. Porter right to left between the legs. Shot up from 18. No good. Rebounded to Eli Stevens. Over to Isaiah Stevens. Nice job on the boards that time by Eli.
A great rebounding position by Eli Stevens. Still had the battle to come down with it.
Isaiah Stevens over to Bentley Hansen. Hansen back on top to Stenson to the high post. And Eli now to the back door. Beautiful. That was Isaiah Stevens, and that was pretty. Back comes Jake Anton. He will kick to the right, left, and then gets the ball back in the corner. West Muskingum swings it around, goes inside to Carter Smith, tries to muscle his way around Eli Stevens. Contact and no foul. 6:25 to go. It is 19-2. New Lexington over West Muskingum. Isaiah Stevens picks up his dribble, and Tornadoes playing defense, a tie-up, and then a jump ball. Ball will go back to West Muskingum. You know, we talked a little bit about Eli Stevens in the first quarter, Ted. He is really working very hard on both ends of the floor. And we talked about his stamina. I think the Panthers are going to probably have to take a good look at him as he goes along in each quarter. Long ball on the way for the Tornadoes. In and out on the shot by Cade Porter. And then a foul inside, I believe, goes against the Panthers on a loose ball situation. And I think they're going to get Lane Ratliff. Nope, they're going to get Isaiah Stevens. That would be his first. Inbounds pass from the Tornadoes. Ball in the left corner now on top to Connor Hill. Connor Hill back over to Kyle Porter. Drive inside, shot up, no good, but a foul called. And that's going to most likely be on Stenson. And that would be his second and another shooting foul for the Tornadoes.
When the Panther starters get in foul trouble, that it is a problem for them. As we mentioned, they don't go deep into their bench.
Ratliff and Stenson both with two personals here in this first half. Free throw on the way is good by Kyle Porter. So 3 free throws for the Tornadoes is what they have to show to this point. 5:51 to go, second quarter. And one more coming for the 6'3" junior Porter. Second one, in and out, no good. Rebounded by Eli Stevens. Over to Isaiah and back to Bentley Hansen. Looks like West Muskingum's fallen into maybe a 1-2-2.
So Tri-Valley run numerous defenses at this Panther team a week ago.
Bentley Hansen makes them pay with a 3. So West goes zone, and Bentley Hansen steps into the shooting pocket from 18, buries it on the triple. Drive inside by the Tornadoes, no good on the shot by Porter. Misses the shot, gets the rebound, and then stolen back by New Lexington, up 22-3. Bentley Hansen will drive the baseline, kick to the left corner, back on top, 3 ball on the way, no good by Corey Adam. Rebounded offensively by New Lexington, and it stays with them. So New Lexington, they see the zone and they say, okay, we can shoot from there.
That's going to open up some more three-point opportunities. The zone definitely will do that. That's a risky game you're playing when you zone up this Panther squad.
Cade Porter takes a seat for West Muskingum. Stolen away by the Tornadoes. Connor Hill, and then driving inside as Anton scores the basket.
What an athletic play by Jake Anton.
Well, Anton puts the Tornadoes' first field goal on the board at the 4:45 mark. and they still trail the Panthers of New Lex 22-5, and looks like West has gone back to the man-to-man, Ted.
I think that's what's going to serve them best. They match up well man-to-man against this team.
Eli Stevens will have the player control foul. That's his first. He just lowered that shoulder.
One thing I'm noticing here in the first half, the New Lexington half-court offense, their spacing's outstanding, their motion is good. And West, when they get in a half-court set, it's kind of one guy trying to do it all and four guys standing around watching, so they really probably need to address that at some point.
Eli Stevens way out on the perimeter guarding, and then a foul after a steal. Eli Stevens comes up with the steal, and he is fouled by Kyle Porter. So Porter has his first. You know, it's an interesting situation for Eli Stevens to be guarding 25 feet from the basket. But that's how the matchup rolls, right? I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, I believe it's New Lexington calling the 32nd. Nope, they're going to call West Muskingum for a full timeout. So that's going to give us an opportunity, Ted, to really look at where we're at. 22-5, New Lexington over West Muskingum. You talked a little bit about West Muskingum's offensive spacing, meaning
they're just kind of standing around watching. They pass the ball, and instead of moving, they just kind of stay where they're at. And their half-court offense is really stagnant because of that. They're not getting the looks that they could have if they simply set picks, move without the ball, and try to find the open spaces. You're making life way too easy on the Panthers' defense when you just stand around.
Now, is that something you think can be addressed during a timeout, or something they look at halftime to amplify your point that, hey guys, you know, our spacing's not good. We've got to, in order to counter that, you've got to set some screens and get some ball movement, set some ball screens, and then drive off those screens, maybe a few pick and rolls, which is something that can usually get your offense going.
Yeah, by far their best opportunities at the rim have all been in transition and fast break opportunities. They haven't really found good looks in a half-court offense yet.
4:16 to go here in the second quarter from New Lexington High School. This is South 60 Films, the streaming partner of New Lexington Athletics, and the Panthers have the basketball, and it's Eli Stevens. Stevens with 6 points in the game, being guarded by Jake Anton. Goes over to Eli, back on top to Paul Stenson, back inside to Eli, and they're going to call a travel on Eli Stevens. And Coach Dewar, I think, has an issue with that, like probably most people.
Yeah, he wanted that contact to be called against Jake Anton, but the official says the travel occurred prior to the contact, so that will supersede that call. West really has an opportunity here, Howard.
Yep, they can. I mean, it's certainly within reach. It's 22-5, but still. Ball to Jake Anton, 3 on the way, no good. Rebound offensively inside is good. That is Connor Hill on the putback. It's 22-7, so West Muskingum making a little bit of noise. Isaiah Stevens with the basketball, being guarded by Jake Anton. Goes over to the right side and then back to Stevens on top. And then they will swing it to Bentley Hansen. Gets the moving screen against Eli Stevens, and that is the right call. And that is his second for Mr. Stevens, and he's going to have to probably sit the balance of the half, Ted.
Yeah, Eli Stevens has 2, Lane Ratliff has 2, and that is the 4th team foul in the quarter against the Panthers, so the next team foul will put the Tornadoes at the line for the remainder of the second quarter.
Ball inside on the drive, nothing there, kick on top. It's Jake Anton. Anton, long ball on the pass to the wing, no good by Coleman Lloyd. Rebound on the floor, and then a jump ball called. Possession arrow will go to New Lexington, and Cade Porter just a little bit upset with the call. He better be very careful.
Yeah, very quick whistle on the jump ball. Neither team really liked that.
So a little bit of animation, and we settle back into things with 3 minutes to go here in the first half. That's Paul Stenson on top to Isaiah Stevens. Swing over to Bentley Hansen. Hansen holds, gets some help from Corey Adam. Adam drives with the left hand and is fouled on the floor by Reed Lemony. That'll be Lemody's second. And it will be possession underneath for the Panthers. 2:46 to go. They lead 22-7. Stevens to Hansen. Hansen goes up off glass and scores.
For someone who's 5'10", he has a real knack for getting to the basket and finishing it once he gets there.
12 points for Bentley Hansen, 24-7. Anton will kick it into the right corner, and then a drive on the baseline, then a kick inside for the Tornadoes. No good by Cade Porter. Again, no good off the putback, and then a foul called against West Muskingum, and that personal will go against Cade Porter. Cade Porter second. He's getting a little dicey underneath. 2:22 to go, second quarter, 24-7. West Muskingum will come back with the full court pressure. I think the official score wants to know who the foul was called on. And Jamie Purrier will let them know. We think it was number 2. Now they'll double check. Now a discussion with Coach Jackson Hellsheimer. Let's see if they get things straightened out. I think they're going to have a word with one of the players from West. That's 24, Carter Smith. And now he has to recheck back in on that one. So we'll get it straight here in just a second. New Lexington will inbound. And West Muskingum with the full court pressure. Bentley Hansen with the basketball, being checked by Connor Hill. Between the legs dribble. Over to the left, then back to the right. Then a drive by Hansen, up off glass, no good. Rebounded by the Tornadoes, Reed Lemony. Here comes Lemony across the timeline to Anton. Anton on the right wing and then back inside, thrown away, but retrieved by Anton. Anton gets the screen, not there. Reverse dribble, now inside, kick over, and then back inside. And then with the basketball is Connor Hill, shot on the way, he's good. Connor Hill has 4 here in this second quarter. It's 24-9 with 1:35 to go here in the second frame. Bentley Hansen looks for the screen on top from Thresher. He will go to the corner, air ball, rebounded by the Tornadoes. Here comes Jake Anton on a 2-and-1. Stolen away by Bentley Hansen. And Coach Dewar says, slow down, fellas. We want to play for 1. And West Muskingum stays man-to-man. And New Lexington stays very patient. They will drive on the baseline. And a kick.
I'm so sure I've ever seen that, Howard. That was intentional, I think.
Not soccer. But the kick, and with 1:04 to go, West Muskingum will regain possession of the basketball.
We've seen accidental kicks a lot, but it seemed like he did that intentionally. Hey, if I can get away with it, why not, right?
24-9, 1 minute to go in the second quarter. West Muskingum down big, but they have the basketball. They will be on the right wing on a drive by Tavin Bennett. Bennett back on top, and now the Tornadoes will kick back to the left side. That personal foul goes against Stenson, and that's not a good foul. That's number 3 on him, and it was unnecessary. Or so I believe Coach Dewar will tell him.
If there's one thing the Panthers cannot afford to do, it's get in foul trouble, and they have a trio of players in foul trouble at the moment.
Coach Dewar will remind him on film study this week, move your feet, not your hands. That's why he got called for the personal.
We're going to see 6'6" junior Sam Roop check into the game. We didn't see him at all a week ago and saw him minimal minutes a year ago.
Kyle Porter makes the first free throw, one more coming, 24-10 in favor of New Lex. Second one, in and out, no good. Rebounded by the Panthers. That's Lane Ratliff over to Bentley Hansen. He is being guarded by Cade Porter with 25 seconds to go here in the second period. Ball on top to Isaiah Stevens, down to 18 seconds to go. Isaiah Stevens being guarded by Connor Hill. He takes his time out on top, playing for the final shot of the quarter. looks for the high ball screen from Thresher, does Stevens. He will drive and pull from 18, shot up, no good. Rebound knocked around out of bounds with 1/10 of a second here in the second quarter. So absolutely no time to do anything for West Muskingum, and they will launch at the buzzer, and that will end a really outstanding first half for the New Lexington Panthers. They have the 24-10 lead to the Panthers, and Ted, a lot of good things happened for the Panthers in that first half, and I guess you can say one of those things that happened good for the Panthers is the cold shooting by New Lexington.
Yeah, they opened the game hot, but quickly went cold. They had a huge lead, I believe it's 16-2 at one point. And the West Muskingum Tornadoes are just down 14 at this point. So after that opening 6-7 minute blitz, the Tornadoes have kind of settled in a little bit and have played them to a stalemate.
After one quarter, New Lexington, as Ted just mentioned, led 17-2. And in the second quarter, West Muskingum actually outscored New Lex 8-7. So down now just 14. So, at this point for the Tornadoes, some things have to change, certainly. But I think the main message for West in the locker room is, hey, we didn't execute at times, but also we didn't necessarily get some shots that normally will fall. Keep running your offense, keep playing tough defense, and sooner or later the shots will fall, or so I think Coach Kelsheimer is saying in the locker room.
Yeah, a lot of shots rolling around off the rim, and they just really couldn't find one to fall in the first quarter. And if the Panthers can start scoring in the half-court offense, this will be a completely different game. Because defensively, they're doing a great job. They've held the New Lex to 24 points in the first half, and I think if you ask Coach Nelsheimer prior to the game, I'm sure he would take that.
Scoring in that first half for New Lexington, 6 points for Isaiah Stevens, a double, a triple, 1 for 2 from the line. The game's leading scorer was Bentley Hansen. Bentley Hansen with 12 in the first half. 3 doubles, a triple, and 3 of 3 from the line. Lane Ratliff had a basket for 2. Eli Stevens had a basket for 2. Malachi Thresher had a basket for 2. Lane Ratliff also with the 2 fouls. Eli Stevens with 2 fouls. And Paul Stenson with 3 fouls for the Panthers. So a little bit of a foul situation issue for New Lexington. And also, Eli Stevens had to work so hard on both ends in that first half, Ted, both offensively setting high ball screens and then really banging around inside with Carter Smith for the Tornadoes. Didn't play, I would say, more than probably half in the first half, but did a great job.
Yeah, Eli Stevens and Paul Stenson are relied upon heavily to defend the post and rebound the basketball. And when those two guys are in foul trouble, it's hard for them to play aggressively. And so that's something to definitely keep an eye on. If Paul Stenson happens to pick up his 4th early in the third quarter, it could change the dynamic of this game.
For the West Muskingum Tornadoes, they were led by Connor Hill off the bench. Hill had 2 baskets, both in the second quarter. He was 0 of 2 from the line, so he had 4 points. Jake Anton had a basket for 2. Kyle Porter, 2 of 4 from the line for his 2. Then Carter Smith was 2 of 2 from the line for his 2 points for the Tornadoes. Conspicuously absent in the scoring, Ted, Tavin Bennett, 0 points. I'm not sure how many shots he actually had.
I can't remember him taking a shot. That's not to say he hasn't, but I'm going to get a look at some highlights here, Howard.
Yep, there's a little scoop on the backside by Hansen. Now Hansen on the right to left dribble will go in off glass, score the basket. And then Eli Stevens from the high post on the back door to Isaiah Stevens. West Muskingum had gone to a zone, and then Bentley Hansen buries the 3. That helped them really extend this lead. Then Hansen back inside off glass is good. Drive by the Tornadoes up, and it was good by Connor Hill. So highlights in the first half, a lot of good things for New Lexington, especially I liked their high post play with Eli Stevens. He did a great job at the high post, but he also did a great job on those high ball screens. And let's face it, this guy is a big character.
He is.
And when he sets that high ball screen, buddy, you don't have a lot of time to go around. You're scrambling.
Yeah.
So it's very important that West Muskingum, I think, come out and hedge after that screen, so when the ball comes to the right side, you come up from that left side, the held position, and stop that drive, which they didn't do a couple of times, the Tornadoes. That, I think, will be addressed in the locker room.
Yeah, I think that's probably why he attempted to come out of the man-to-man defensively and switch to a zone, but they only went to it for a couple possessions that led to that wide-open three from Bentley Hansen we just saw in the highlights. But I think the highlight for West Muskingum in the first half has been their man-to-man defense. It's been very effective. They just offensively have not been able to muster up anything in the half court, and I think that will be the decisive factor in the second half. Is if the Tornadoes can find a way to score in a half-court offense.
This game is presented by the 21st Century Program from New Lexington High School. You can call the high school to talk about enrollment. Also, the scoreboard tonight sponsored by 740 Thread Company, which is a Junction City company. They're the local experts in custom printed and embroidered appraisal for not only Junction City, but New Lex and lots of Perry County. The South 60 Films, that's us. We are the official streaming partner of New Lexington Athletics. Quick reminder that tomorrow night, Marcus McPeck and Ted Snyder, the guy on my right, will be at the girls' side of things, where they will be over at West Muskingum, Ted, for a young ladies contest between these New Lexington Lady Panthers and the Lady Tornadoes of West Muskingum, and a little bit of a preview of what you got coming there.
I'm expecting a good matchup tomorrow as well. The Lady Tornadoes had a magical year a season ago, 23 wins, district champions. So they're riding high, and they got high hopes for this season yet again. But don't count out the Lady Panthers of New Lex. They have a really, really outstanding junior class of girls. They have size, they have athleticism, they really have it all.
By the way, our next telecast on the boys' side will be next Saturday, so make a note of that. That's the 21st. Columbus Bishop Watterson will be here for a non-league game to face these Panthers. That is tentatively set for a 6 o'clock JV tip-off, but I know that there are some schools, Ted, discussing and already making changes that due to the Ohio State playoff situation, some schools are actually starting their games earlier. So stick around Facebook side of things on South 60, and our man Matt will let you know what's going on, but tentatively scheduled it is next Saturday. Okay, let's come back to this one. If you're West Muskingum, you got to tighten some things up in the locker room. Most notably, shot selection, running your man offense. I think their screen game has been good, but they haven't been able to really finish strong. They have gotten good inside strong play from Carter Smith. He just hasn't been able to hit.
Yeah, once they got behind by double digits early, it seemed like they started rushing their shots and taking some poor shots from the field. That obviously led to some misses, and it also doesn't allow your teammates to get in rebounding position when you're putting up quick shots and nobody's down there to help you rebound. So
go ahead.
That's really, I think, it all comes down to that. If the Tornadoes can execute in the half court, they can certainly climb back in this game. But if they come out and replay what they did in the first half offensively, it's probably going to be a lot of the same.
New Lexington, on the other hand, by the way, they are out shooting. West Muskingum just making their way onto the floor. So 24-10 in favor of New Lexington. For New Lex, it's kind of an interesting situation for Coach Dewar, I think, Ted, is that you've got a nice, comfortable lead, but there's still things you need to improve on for the second half.
Absolutely. Panthers have really been attacking the basket with frequency in the first half because that's what the shots are. That's the shots that are coming to them. This man-to-man defense is kind of pushing them off the three-point line, much like Tri-Valley's zone did a week ago. And New Lexington's having a lot of success even in the paint. Even though they're undersized, they're still finding a way to get good shots inside.
Well, as usually is the case for these Panthers, the two big guys stepping up for the scoring. It's Hansen with the 12 and 6 for Stevens. So of their 24 points, 18 from your top two scorers. But I still want to come back to something we talked about in the pregame. Really, for New Lexington to go as far as they probably want to go, they're really going to need other guys to step up and be scorers.
Yeah, I agree. Lane Ratliff's a capable shooter. He just doesn't take many shots. And all five guys, all five starters for the Panthers can shoot the three ball. They just don't often get the opportunities that Stevens and Hansen do.
All right, my friend, what are you looking for in the second half?
First thing I'm going to be looking for is the motion, the movement of the West Muskingum Tornado offense. Are they stagnant in the half court still, or have they figured out a way to get some ball movement, some body movement, and some open looks in the half court offense? If they can do that, they'll give themselves an opportunity here.
All right, starters for the Panthers coming back for the second half. Going to be Lane Ratliff, Isaiah Stevens, Eli Stevens, Paul Stenson, and the fifth starter will be Eli Ratliff. So the original starting five for the Panthers. For the West Muskingum Tornadoes, they'll go with Kyle Porter, also Cade Porter, Carter Smith, Jake Anton, and rounding it out will be Tavin Bennett. We mentioned Tavin Bennett scoreless in the first half. He is their leading scorer. West Muskingum will be having the basketball, and New Lexington will be in the man-to-man. As ball on the right side, it's on top to Jake Anton. Anton holds, bounces to the mid-post. Inside look by Tavin Bennett, no good. Rebounded by Bentley Hansen.
Much
good
better shot,
yep,
though. Much
good
better shot.
Didn't go. Eli Stevens, let's see if he comes out and sets that high ball screen. Nope, he'll go inside. Guess what? Easy basket. Eli Stevens slips the backside screen, and what a nice play.
That's 4 or 5 times the Panthers have snuck a guy back door and found himself wide open underneath the basket.
I like this Eli Stevens. He is on defense and gets the block and then knocked out of bounds, and it will go back to New Lexington. Yeah, Eli Stevens, anytime you get a big guy slipping the screen, that's good stuff. Lane Ratliff over to Isaiah Stevens. Just beginning the third quarter, it is 26-10, New Lexington. Isaiah Stevens drives to the right side, picks up the dribble, goes on top to Eli, then swinging around to Bentley Hansen. Gets the screen from Ike Stevens misses the shot, rebounded by Carter Smith. West Muskingum pushes. It's Jake Anton, spin dribble to the mid-post, and then back to the drive on the baseline, up, no good by the Tornadoes. Kyle Porter knocked out of bounds. It will stay with West. Substitution for West, it will be Connor Hill, and he will replace Tavin Bennett.
Quick exit in the third quarter for the team's leading scorer.
Yeah.
Maybe possibly some blood drawn.
Yeah, there could be something because you think he'd want to be in there, or the coaches would want to be in there. Knocked out of bounds, it will stay with the Tornadoes. 6:38 to go here in the third. 26-10 in favor of the Panthers of New Lexington. Ball on top. Jake Anton holds, gets the man-to-man of Lane Ratliff. Ball on the floor. It's a loose ball foul.
It's a blocking on Eli Stevens.
That will be Stevens' third. And he may have to take a quick seat. I believe he is. Yep. They couldn't get Thresher in. And West Muskingum gets the basketball. The official says, no, you can't come in. So drive inside by Carter Smith, misses the shot, muscles it back up, and scores it.
I think there's a case Eli just wasn't able to be aggressive defensively because of those 3 fouls.
Absolutely. 6:15 to go. Isaiah Stevens drives inside all the way to the basket. Shot up and in. It's good. He's fouled. Isaiah Stevens with a 3-point play opportunity coming. Personal foul goes against the Tornadoes. And let's see who they're going to whistle on. That was action inside as Eli Stevens takes a seat. That's the first foul on the Tornadoes. And the personal foul goes against Jake Anton. That's his first. Free throw, good by Stevens. He has 9. And back on defense of the Panthers, 29-12. They lead. Screen on top by the Tornadoes, and then Anton loses the ball out of bounds. So ball back to the New Lexington Panthers. West Muskingum will pick up full court, trying to, I think, force the action maybe a little bit. But good ball handling for New Lexington, especially this guy, Bentley Hansen. He calls some things out. He is being guarded by Connor Hill. Goes to the high side for Stenson. Back to the corner, then the drive inside by Isaiah Stevens. He will kick over to Thresher, and Thresher scores the layup. And West Muskingum getting beat up on the inside here in this third quarter. 31-12. Panthers lead. Ball up the high post to Carter Smith. Smith over to Porter. Kyle Porter has it stolen away by Thresher to Bentley Hansen. Hansen will drive inside. He is fouled on the floor. There's going to be a 2-on-1. And the personal goes against the Tornadoes. Tavin Bennett going to check back in here momentarily. And he will replace Kyle Porter. New Lexington runs a 1-4 out of bounds play. It's Thresher on the inbound to Stenson. And then a ball screen from Thresher to Stevens, back to Hansen. He'll shoot the 3, in and out, no good. Rebounded off to the Tornadoes. Here they come with Jake Anton on top. Ball trying to go inside. Nothing doing for the Tornadoes. Cade Porter. And then the drive and the turnaround. No, the kickback out on top for Tavin Bennett. And Jake Anton has it. Down 31-12 are the Tornadoes. Double team out on the perimeter. Here comes the drive and then the corner shot. No good. Rebounded by the Tornadoes, up and it's in by Cade Porter. So good job on the backside rebounding. Stolen away. Ball back. Shot up is good by Connor Hill. And suddenly the Tornadoes are making some noise. 31-16 in favor of New Lexington. 4:20 to go here in the third quarter. Isaiah Stevens dribbles across the timeline, goes all the way to the basket. No foul called. Rebounded off to the Tornadoes. Here comes Jake Anton. Anton to the line, then to the corner. Shot up is a good. Good on the drive by the Tornadoes, and that is Connor Hill. He has 8, and New Lexington wants a 30-second timeout.
Nice little 6-0 run here by the Tornadoes, and that may be just what the doctor ordered to inspire some confidence in the Tornadoes.
Well, what it looked like from my vantage point, Ted, is that the pressure, really hard pressure by the Tornadoes, I think bothered New Lexington a little bit, maybe pushed a little bit of rhythm away. That when you combine that, hey, when you make shots, sometimes, you know, they got to go in, and they certainly did for the Tornadoes. So nice run by West Muskingum, and they are certainly back in this, down 31-18.
I'm going to continue to be aggressive if I'm West Muskingum, because you have the Panthers' 2 primary low post players in foul trouble. Paul Stenson, Eli Stevens, both with 3 fouls. So you can be aggressive and let the chips fall where they may if you're West Muskingum. Nothing to lose.
Inbounds pass goes to Isaiah Stevens. He's being guarded by Jake Anton. Gets help from Bentley Hansen. Hansen, left-handed dribble, goes on top to Lane Ratliff. Ratliff to the corner. Picks about the 3, does Stenson. Inside it will go to Thresher. Back to Hansen. He'll shoot from 8. In and out and in.
Shooters roll. Shooters bounce for Bentley Hansen.
Big. Yep.
Give him 14 in the game.
Yep, big basket for New Lexington. And it's Anton being guarded by Ratliff in the man-to-man half court. Gets the high ball screen from Smith. Ball inside, stolen away, knocked around, got back by West. Shot up is good. And a foul call.
Malachi Thresher committed the ultimate no-no. He fouled a 3-point shooter in the act. That's going to be a potential 4-point play for Cade Porter if he can knock down this free throw. And all of a sudden, Howard, it's a 12-point game, potentially 11.
Yeah, the big 3 and then the free throw coming for Cade Porter, and he is looking for point number 8 here in this third quarter. 33-21, make it 22.
I love the fight in the Tornadoes.
Absolutely. 3:10 to go, 33-22. New Lexington up 11. At one point in this game, they led 17-2. Ball screen for the Panthers. They will swing it around. It's Hansen, drives inside, goes around the basket, loops it up. No basket, but a foul called, and he'll go to the line for a pair. That's Connor Hill on the personal foul, and Hansen goes to the line.
You can see this offensive spurt here for the Tornadoes has really propelled them defensively as well. They're really getting after it defensively, feeling like they're back in this game.
14 points for Hansen, make it 15. And he is perfect from the line, 4 of 4, one more coming. Taking a seat will be Paul Stenson, and he is replaced by Corey Adam for the Panthers. One more free throw coming for Bentley Hansen.
But no Stenson, no Eli Stevens on the floor right now.
Second one's good.
The Tornadoes could really take advantage inside right now as Panthers are very vulnerable defensively in the low block.
35-22, 2:45 to go. Anton left side dribble. He will go to the corner. Ball not there, so they will kick back out and rerun things. Will the Tornadoes. Reed Lemony with the basketball, and he will go to Jake Anton. Anton, right to left dribble, goes inside, picks it up, spin away, up and in. Jake Anton has 4. Good shot there. 35-24, and a steal by West Muskingum. Inside to Lemony, up and it's in. And he is fouled.
Here we go, Howard. A whole new basketball game. I had a feeling that foul trouble would really cost the Panthers, and it seems to be playing a factor right now.
Personal goes against New Lexington. And wow, that was Bentley Hansen's first. And a free throw coming off the made basket by Lemony, coming from the steal. And it is no good. Rebounded by Isaiah Stevens. 35-26. 2:15 to go. This is shaping up to be a really good game. And it already is. Isaiah Stevens to the basket, and he's fouled by Carter Smith. And he should be going to the line for a couple.
I think they got Jake Anton on that.
All right, well, Carter Smith looked like he was displeased with the situation, so it's not on him. In fact, it is on Anton.
Just his second.
A couple of free throws coming for Stevens.
No real foul trouble for the Tornadoes.
One more free throw coming for Isaiah Stevens. He has 10 points on the night. And the second one, no good. Rebounded off to the Tornadoes, Cade Porter. Porter over to Jake Anton, 36-26. New Lexington, 10-point lead. High ball screen. Anton drives inside, goes to the right wing, and then a drive and a shot inside. No good by Connor Hill. And then a foul over the top, the loose ball variety, goes against, I believe, West Muskingum.
Big rebound by Malachi Thresher in between a pair of Tornadoes, able to come down with that and gets fouled in the process. They're going to really need a lot defensively and in the rebounding department from Thresher here.
And Thresher will go to the line for a 1 and bonus situation. Personal foul goes against Connor Hill. That is his third. So Eli, should say Malachi Thresher with a 10-point lead and 1:47 to go here in the third quarter.
And this is a big minute 47 coming up here, Howard, because the Panthers have Stenson and Eli Stevens sitting on the bench for the remainder of the quarter. So if you're the Tornadoes, you're really licking your chops, trying to make another dent in this lead here in the remaining part of this third quarter.
Thresher, after that miss, gets one more. The lead is 10 for New Lexington. Second one on the way. Good.
They just, as a team, they're just so well, shoot free throws so well.
1:45 to go, third quarter, 37-26, New Lexington. Anton, and then the drive inside by Lemony, not there. He will drive and pick up the dribble at the high post, and then go back out on top to Cade Porter. Porter to the right wing. And then inside, a hold's going to go against New Lexington. That's Lane Ratliff, and that would be his third.
I believe so. I believe you're right.
That looked like some football stuff out there, didn't it? Grabbing onto that jersey.
You notice there's a lot more movement offensively in the half court for the Tornadoes than there was in the first half.
West Muskingum will inbound to Carter Smith. Back over to Kyle Porter, and then knocked away by Bentley Hansen. West Muskingum will stay with the possession. 37-26, they are down with 1:23 to go here in the third quarter. We'll go to Jake, nope, now to Jake Anton. Instead on top to Cade Porter, back to the top. And Kyle Porter will go to the left wing for Reed Lemony, then back inside. On the drive is Lemony and the basket.
The lead's back to single digits at 9. This is as close as they've been since early stages of this game.
37-28, 1 minute to go, third quarter. Isaiah Stevens to the top, back to Bentley Hansen on top. Now New Lex, as though they get the ball screen. Looks like they're gonna play for one. Nope, yeah, they will kick to the left corner, back on top for Isaiah Stevens. He looks up at the clock, down to 40 seconds to go. Bentley Hansen right side. Hansen brings it back on with the left dribble. Gets the high ball screen from Thresher, doesn't take it. Goes over to Isaiah Stevens. Stevens looks around, 25 seconds. Boy, this is a long time to hold.
Sure is.
Isaiah Stevens, and then Anton, nearly a steal, but is called for the personal foul. And that will be number 3 on Anton. And New Lex caught a little bit of a break there.
Yeah,
but it was a foul.
This is the New Lexington MO. Saw this a year ago. If they get under a minute in any quarter, they generally will try to hold for one. But you're right, they do oftentimes turn the ball over, get a little complacent and a little sloppy with their passing.
And the last guy you want at the line if you're West Muskingum is Bentley Hansen. He is 5 of 5 free throw shooting. Make it 6 of 6.
One of the best in the league a year ago.
Not doing anything wrong tonight.
First team All-Ohio honors in football was just announced. Bentley Hansen made that team, first team All-Ohio. So big congratulations to Bentley for that. That's an outstanding accomplishment.
He makes the second free throw. He has 18 and 7 of 7 from the line. 20 seconds to go, 39-28. West could conceivably get back into less than 10 here on this trip. Down to 10 to the right wing. Nothing there. Ball on top, nearly a steal by Hansen. And then a long shot is a foul. Bentley Hansen fouls a three-point shooter. That is Cade Porter. So Bentley Hansen with 2 seconds to go in the third quarter fouls the Tornadoes. Cade Porter, and he should be getting 3. He has 8 points here in the third quarter. First of 3 is good. And there's that double figures, and I'll tell you what, Ted, they could actually cut it to 8.
Yeah, 8 would be as close as they've been.
It's midway in the first quarter.
Yes.
Second one, no good. One more coming for Cade Porter.
Probably since the score was 8-0. It's probably the last time it was at 8 or below.
And one more coming for Porter. Third on the way, in and out, no good. Rebounded by Hansen, and that will end the third quarter. So a good quarter for the West Muskingum Tornadoes. They battle back, Ted, and this is actually now a very competitive game. Down just 10 are the Tornadoes.
It was a 14-point lead at the break. Tornadoes have since chipped off 4 points off that lead, and 39-29, as you mentioned, 1 quarter to play. And we'll have to see how aggressive Jeremy Dewar gets with his rotation here. Will he elect to come immediately back to begin this quarter with Stinson or Stevens or both with the 3 personal fouls, or will he continue to ride with Thresher for the first couple minutes of this fourth quarter?
Well, big Tornadoes, as they were led by Cade Porter. Porter with 9 points, 4 for Connor Hill, 2 for Jake Anton, 4 for Reed Lemony, and 2 for Carter Smith. For the New Lexington Panthers, it was Bentley Hansen 6 and Isaiah Stevens 4. So 10 of their 14 points for the Panthers. Again, those 2 guys. Malachi Thresher did chip in with 3, but Eli Stevens sat with foul trouble, and also in foul trouble, Paul Stenson and Lane Ratliff, all with 3 personal fouls.
Yeah, the defensive job Jake Anton has done against Isaiah Stevens has been really, really good in this game. Stevens just 10 points through 3 quarters. But Jake Anton just picked up his 3rd foul, I believe, at the end of that 3rd quarter. So that's
yes, he did.
Something to keep an eye on as well.
Also Connor Hill with 3 personals for the Tornadoes. Isaiah Stevens, Bentley Hansen, Lane Ratliff, Eli Stevens, and Paul Stenson on the floor for the Tornadoes. And then a drive and then a foul. Bentley Hansen is hammered by Carter Smith. And Carter Smith, if I'm not mistaken, that's his 1st personal foul.
Hansen does a really good job of shielding that ball from any potential shot blockers and absorbing the body contact and still getting the shot up off the glass. For someone who's just 5'10", he's very, very strong kid, very savvy.
Makes the first free throw, 1 more coming, as he is now 8 of 8 from the line. Ted talked about it a moment ago. He is an outstanding free throw shooter, maybe the best in the area. And couldn't prove it by there, 9 of 9. Basketball back in the hands of West, suddenly back to a 12-point deficit for the Tornadoes. And they need a basket. That's Cade Porter. Whistle goes inside, and that's going to go against New Lexington. Personal foul goes against Ratliff. And would that be number 4 on Lane Ratliff?
That would be my guess. Yeah,
yep,
it sure
would be.
Is. Corey Adam going to check back in for him.
There's that foul trouble that Ted talked about. Inbounds play for the Tornadoes to Tavin Bennett, scoreless in this basketball game. On top. Nowhere to go. And then a foul on the floor.
That's Eli Stevens. That's going to be his 4th.
Wow.
Very aggressive on the perimeter defending was Stevens right there. 25 feet away from the basket, committing a reach-in violation.
Yeah, you got caught.
Yep.
I mean,
hand in the cookie jar.
Yeah, so, boy, Stevens and Ratliff both are going to have to sit.
It's just a silly foul that far away from the basket.
7:30 to go, 41-29. New Lexington leads. They get the inbounds pass to Reed Lemony. Down to the corner and Anton. Anton left-hand dribble back out on top to Lemony. Lemony drives inside all the way to the glass, up and in. Boy, Reed Lemony has played very well off the bench here. He has 6 in the second half.
Yeah, he's got a little something, doesn't he? He finds his way to the basket, and he can finish once he gets there.
41-31, New Lexington. Isaiah Stevens over to Paul Stenson. Back to Hansen. Hansen drives on the baseline and puts it up off glass. No good. Rebounded by Carter Smith. Here come the Tornadoes on the run, and they will go back out on top to Anton. He will swing to the left for Kyle Porter. Porter drives baseline, picks up his dribble, loses it, and it is going back to the Panthers. It's coming up with the steal was Corey Adam. It's Bentley Hansen crosses the timeline against the man-to-man from West Muskingum. Ball back out on top to Isaiah Stevens. Right to left, back to right, over to Hansen. Hansen holds, drives inside, double team, loses it, picked it up for the Tornadoes is Anton. Anton up, no good, but he's drawing the foul.
Hard fall by Anton. He gets right back up off the floor, though. He's going to shoot a pair, Howard, potentially cut this lead to 8.
Back to the 8 possibility again for the Tornadoes. Personal foul goes against New Lexington's Corey Adam. It's his second. First throw is no good by Anton. One more coming for Jake Anton, the 6'3" senior.
Cade Porter just missed 2 of 3 a moment ago. They're really leaving a lot of points out there from the free throw line, Howard.
One more coming for Anton. Second one, no good. Rebounded, knocked around, and it will go back to New Lexington. A lot of hands in there.
4 of the last 5 free throws attempted have been missed by West Muskingum, so they've had opportunities here. They're just not cashing in.
Bentley Hansen under all kinds of pressure, speed dribbles across the timeline, being guarded by Connor Hill. And a full timeout for the New Lexington Panthers here in the fourth quarter. So here is the situation. It's 41-31 in favor of New Lexington. West Muskingum has had some runs here, Ted, in this second half, but they just haven't been able to get under 5.
Yeah, it's. I think the goal, if you're West Muskingum, try to get it to 6, try to get it to a 2-possession game with some time remaining, and you're just going to have to hope New Lex misses free throws. That's the situation you're in. But New Lex is just such a great shooting team from the free throw line. It's going to be hard to cut this deficit with such little time remaining on the clock.
Second half free throw shooting for West Muskingum. They are just 2 of 7, where the New Lexington Panthers are 8 of 10. So there's 6 points right there, and there's your under 5.
Sure is. Yep. I mentioned a moment ago, they're leaving a lot of points on the floor by missing all these free throws.
And you had also mentioned, Ted, that now's the time you gotta make something happen with Eli Stevens on the bench with 4, Lane Ratliff on the bench for 4. Inbounds will go to Stenson to Hansen. Bentley Hansen being guarded by Connor Hill. Gets the high ball screen from Malachi Thresher. Thresher will reverse, and then ball back in the corner to Isaiah Stevens. He will drive baseline. Nope, he'll step on the baseline.
You got to applaud the job Malachi Thresher's done here in this second half. He's really provided them with some good minutes.
5:53 to go, fourth quarter. 41-31. New Lexington leads West Muskingum. It's Jake Anton being checked by Isaiah Stevens. Ball on top, nearly a steal. And then it is a steal. Finally coming up with this Corey Adam. Yeah, that's a big possession right there. Isaiah Stevens with the basketball, gets the screen on the half court by Thresher. Picks up the dribble, goes back over to teammate Paul Stenson. Stenson will drive and be fouled by Anton. That will be 4 on Anton.
Anton has been the primary defender on Isaiah Stevens since the opening tip. They can ill afford to lose him.
10 points for Stevens here in this game. Thresher on the inbounds pass over to Stenson. Stenson reverses to Stevens. He will drive, gets the screen from Thresher. Nowhere to go. Dribbles back out. Thresher back to Stevens. He'll take the 3. Good. Boy, there's a dagger.
Sure was. Just too much space for Stevens.
44-31. 5 minutes to go here in the basketball game. Drive inside. Nothing there. It's Carter Smith on top, and he will go to Reed Lemony. Lemony all the way to the basket. Foul on the floor. And that's going to go against Corey Adam. And that should be...
That was awful close to in the act of shooting.
Yeah, I was going to say that should be possibility of free throws, but the officials say nope. Just a half second earlier on the floor. Inbound for the Tornadoes will be Reed Lemony. Lemony over to Anton. Boy, he gets away with a player control foul and scores the basket. That could have been a shoulder.
Sure, that could have been. That would have been his 5th too.
44-33. Screened by Thresher. Isaiah Stevens holds, goes to Bentley Hansen. Hansen holds, drives to the right, picks up the dribble, foul on the floor. And I think the officials are seeing that things are getting really physical and they're having quick whistles. By the way, Eli Stevens set to check back in along with Lane Ratliff. Both of those guys with 4 fouls. And speaking of fouls, that's 4 on Connor Hill for the Tornadoes. Lots of guys in foul trouble. 4 for Hill, 4 for Anton for West, 4 each for Ratliff and Stevens for the Panthers. And now we've got some discussion going on the scorer's table as to who the foul is on. And I believe, yep, they're just going to play on. It's Bentley Hansen gets the screen from Eli Stevens, and then another foul on the floor goes against the Tornadoes.
I believe this is going to be Lemony.
Yeah, we're going to have to find out. And
Reed Lemedy, I think.
Lemedy would be his third. Inbounds from Stevens.
That was Carter Smith.
Yep,
That's his third.
To Hanson. Hanson up, no good. Rebound off to Carter Smith. And here come the Tornadoes back down the other way. Shot no good by the Tornadoes. Rebounded to Stevens. Stevens all the way to the basket, stolen away by Anton. And will stay in possession of the Panthers.
Great defensive effort by Anton. Saved 2 points.
44-33, 4:08 to go here in the basketball game. Stevens will inbound in the 1-4. Can't find what he wants with brother Eli, so back on top, the ball with Paul Stenson over to Bentley Hanson. West Muskingum in the man-to-man. There's the high ball screen from Eli Stevens. Hanson drives in, turns it over on the travel. Ball back to West Muskingum. And another opportunity. 3:57 to go, fourth quarter. Jake Anton has the basketball. Isaiah Stevens has him. And he will cross the timeline. No screen. He will just call out the offense to the left wing. Long shot. No good by Lemedy. And rebounded off to the Panthers. Tough break that time for West. That's Isaiah Stevens all the way to the basket. Blocked by Smith. Here come the Tornadoes on the run. Ball on top. Anton will shoot the three. Good!
That cuts the lead to 8 right there. A big three by Anton brings the Tornado faithful to their feet.
And a timeout called by New Lexington. So it's 44-36. A 30-second timeout for the Panthers, and another good run that time by West Muskingum. This second half, they've really up-tempoed quite a bit, and I think any time that New Lex has missed a shot, West has managed to fly somebody out, and they've really had good success with that.
Yeah, transition's been their best offense tonight by far.
But they go ahead, please.
To have any chance in this game, they're going to need New Lex to miss free throws down the stretch, though, and that's going to be a big ask.
7-5, West has outscored New Lex here in this fourth quarter. The Panthers will have Eli Stevens on the floor, Bentley Hanson, also Paul Stenson, Isaiah Stevens, and Lane Ratliff. So the original starting 5 for the Panthers. They get the inbounds pass to Bentley Hanson. Connor Hill has him. Hill, we believe, has 4 personal fouls. Hanson crosses the timeline. Picks up the dribble. Goes to the left wing for Stanson. Stanson over to Eli Stevens. Muscles his way inside and gives back out on top to Isaiah. Isaiah, right to left dribble. 3 ball on the way. Good. Isaiah Stevens, 2 big bombs here in this fourth quarter. 47-36.
That was a big shot right there with a 6'4" defender in his face.
No good on the 3 ball by the Tornadoes. That was Cade Porter on the miss. And ball back to the Panthers. New Lexington, left to right dribble. In the corner, it is Hanson. And they say it's off his thigh. And the ball back to the West Muskingum Tornadoes. By the way, the officials have done a really good job. This game could have gotten out of hand with the physicality. There have been some really tough calls made on both teams, but the officials have been very good, very fair on both sides. That's Anton. Inside to Carter Smith. Oh, he misses the layup. Knocked around and knocked out of bounds. It goes back to New Lexington.
Just needed to take some time and gather himself. He had plenty of time, but he just rushed it.
40,
missed the bunny.
47-36 in favor of New Lex. It's Bentley Hanson. Now the time becomes crucial for the Tornadoes. They need a stop or a miss. That's Isaiah Stevens over to Lane Ratliff to Bentley Hanson. Comes out for the big screen from Eli. Drives inside, misses the shot. Rebound to Carter Smith. They push ahead to the Tornadoes. That's Jake Anton. Tries to go by Stevens, not there. Drives inside, shot up, scoop is in, and a foul.
Wow. Jake Anton's trying to put this team on his back, Howard. Making some big plays here in the fourth quarter is the senior.
I believe that's going to be it for Eli Stevens. He will exit the game with 4 points. And Anton going to the line where he is 0 of 2, has 9 points in the game. Free throw on the way is good. 47-39, 8-point margin. West Muskingum 2-2-1 press and a foul on the floor. Nope, a timeout call. So the Tornadoes will take the timeout. We'll take that opportunity to discuss the situation, Ted. 1:49 to go, 47-39. West has gotten it to 8 points several times here in this second half, but they just can't make that one basket to make it that 5-point lead. And with a 5-point lead, anytime under 2 minutes, it's anybody's ball game because of free throw shooting.
I agree, and as I mentioned a couple minutes ago, that Tornadoes are going to need New Lex to miss some free throws down the stretch, which is not a good position to be in, but at least you have an opportunity. Just down 8.
Well, 13 of 16 free throw shooting for the Panthers. And
they won a lot of games from the line a year ago, did this Panthers team.
Yeah, that's a lot of extra lunches for those guys here this week. You make free throws, you get extra lunch. All right, here we go. The Panthers with the basketball. It'll be inbound from Stenson. And a foul called on the Tornadoes, holding on the inbounds play. And for the good news for West, at least it stops the clock. But the bad news is Isaiah Stevens will step up to the line for free throws.
You know, before they moved to the 5 team fouls per quarter, you know, high school basketball used to be 7 team fouls per half. And then you had the 1 in bonus for 3 free throws. So it gave teams a better opportunity to cut into deficits late. Now every free throw attempt is 2 shots, no matter what.
Yeah. Ohio just models usually what the National Federation suggests around the country for high school sports, and it is what it is.
Yeah. I've long been in favor of a high school shot clock, too.
They may come. Yeah. Second one in and out, no good, and then a loose ball foul goes against Thresher. West Muskingum should be shooting free throws. It's a common foul.
Yep, both teams will be shooting free throws down the stretch. Both are over the 5 foul limit.
48-39. Now, based on that free throw miss, West could cut it to 7.
And Carter Smith has not had a great game offensively. He's very visibly frustrated inside, rushing his opportunities. He could really make up for it with a couple of makes from the line here.
First one, in and out, no good. One more coming for Carter Smith. He has 4 in the game. Second one, good.
It's the 3rd time it's been down to 8 in the last couple of minutes, Howard, but they've been unable to get any closer.
Cade Porter will check in for Carter Smith. Bentley Hansen double team, picks it up and then goes over to Isaiah Stevens. He will throw back to Bentley Hansen. Press break there for the Panthers. And Isaiah Stevens calling out traffic signals. Drives inside, spin dribble, loses it, picks it back up. Over on top, now back to Bentley Hansen. 1:25 to go, and Lena Ratliff holds. Ratliff left to right dribble to Stenson. Stenson back to Isaiah Stevens. Gets the screen from Thresher, drives inside, is fouled, and Isaiah Stevens will go back to the line for a couple.
Not the guy you want to see on the line. Yes, he's really found some rhythm here in the second half. 17 in the game for Stevens.
And taking a seat for the Tornadoes with his 5th foul is Jake Anton. And a couple of free throws coming for Isaiah Stevens.
Did a very admirable job defensively tonight, did Jake Anton on Isaiah Stevens.
He will exit with the 12 points. First one's good.
Anton also provided the offensive spark here in the 4th quarter. Didn't play basketball a year ago, Howard. He played as a sophomore and elected not to play a year ago, and he's back on the court now. And it's great to see him out there.
Both free throws buried by Isaiah Stevens, back to the 10-point lead. West needs to really get it moving now, and they're going to have to think about using a couple of timeouts and fouling. They will drive inside, shot up, no good. Rebounded up and back in by the Tornadoes.
That was Tavin Bennett. I think they got a quick whistle on Stinson down low. If that's on Stinson, that's his fifth.
Okay. That will be, in fact, his fifth foul, so he will sit. And a three-point play opportunity for Tavin Bennett. That is his first basket of the game.
They're saying that's Stinson's fourth foul.
Okay. So we will go with 4. Free throw by Bennett. Good. Tavin Bennett. Three-point play.
This is the closest the Tornadoes have been since it was 7-0, Howard.
Discussion now by the officials out on top. Timeout for the Tornadoes of West. They want a 30-second timeout, so what do you think they're cooking up?
I think ball security is paramount for the Panthers. You can't turn the ball over. You got to force them to foul you and put you on the line. That's your comfort zone.
From an advantage of shooting free throws, the ball is most likely going to be in the hands exclusively Stevens and Hansen, and those guys tonight have combined for 18 free throws, and they have made 15 of the 18.
Yeah.
That's pretty darn good.
It's impressive. They do a really good job at the line, and you really have to pick your poison because all 5 guys out there can shoot free throws.
Malachi Thresher, by the way, the only other guy to shoot free throws. He is 1 of 2. So 16 of 20. If my math is good, Ted, that's about 80%. That's going to win you some games.
Yeah, sure is, especially at the high school level. I mean, 80%'s good at the professional level.
All right, so the Panthers will inbound. That's Stenson. They have their press offense with Hansen and Stevens. Cross screen for each other. Ball in the hands of Hansen, and a quick foul called on the Tornadoes. That's Tavin Bennett. And the last guy in the gym you want to foul is Bentley Hansen, but sometimes you have no choice because when you run that press offense, you want the ball in the hands of Bentley Hansen.
And time is not your friend if you're West Muskingum. We're under a minute to play, so you really can't allow time to run off the clock just waiting for him to pass to a different player.
Free throw's good. He is 10 of 10 from the line. Has 21 points to lead all scorers. 51-43, one more coming for Bentley Hansen. Smooth player, good basketball player. Good. Here come the Tornadoes, and Cade Porter. Long shot on the way, nope, instead there's a dribble drive up, and it's in on the drive. And that is Tavin Bennett, and another foul on the floor.
That one's going to be on Cade Porter.
And that will be Porter's third. And to the line is the other half of double trouble. If you're the Tornadoes, that is Isaiah Stevens. And 2 more coming free throw wise. First one, good. Yeah, the story of this game is a lot, but one of the principal stories is going to be free throw shooting by New Lexington. Second one, in and out, no good. Rebounded by Bennett. Bennett pushes it up with 40 seconds to go. He will drive inside, spin dribble, back inside it will go. Shot up is good. Nope, travel call.
Carter Smith finally gets a field goal attempt from the field to fall, and he got called for the travel.
34, yep.
The kind of night it's been for Carter.
34 seconds to go, 53-45. West now in a situation where they're going to have to foul Isaiah Stevens, and he will be fouled on the floor. So at this point, it's just going to become a free throw shooting contest for the Panthers. And not a lot West can do with Stevens back to the line for 2 more.
Yeah, Tornadoes really fell in a big hole in the first 5-6 minutes of this game, and I'm wondering if it was going to get out of hand, but they have really done a good job of hanging around and making a game out of this.
First free throw missed by Stevens. He has one more. Second one, no good. And rebounded to Carter Smith. So West needs to hurry. They need a basket quickly. They do not get it. Ball tapped around, picked up on the floor loose. And Tavin Bennett, he will go to the corner. Shot and no good by Connor Hill. Loose on the floor. And two more free throws coming to Isaiah Steele. Make it Lane Ratliff, I think, maybe shooting free throws. As the ball was loose and Ratliff coming up with it, and he had to have been fouled. That personal goes against Reed Lemedy. And a couple of free throws coming for Lane Ratliff.
Almost the same score we had a week ago right now, Howard.
Yeah.
52-44 or 53-45.
Ratliff's free throw is good. He has 3 for the game.
How about this early season schedule for New Lex? You played Tri-Valley, played Maysville, and Steubenville. That was 3 of their first 4 games. And now you play West.
Yeah, West's pretty good.
And Watterson next Saturday. So this team is challenging themselves outside conference, that's for sure.
Both free throws good. Drive all the way to the basket, up, and it's in by Cade Porter. And that should do it. And in fact, it does. 55, 17-2 in the first quarter in favor of New Lex. Well, we are going to take a break here and add up some numbers before we sign off for the contest. But again, we can tell you 55-47 in favor of New Lexington. We'll come back here in just a couple and we'll give you all of our final scoring. Hey everybody, welcome back, and a good basketball game, Ted. And you mentioned just before we checked out for a break or so that if you take away the 17-2 West Muskingum deficit at the end of the first quarter, it's got a pretty good looking ball game on our hands.
Sure was really a tale of two halves. 24-10 at halftime. The Tornadoes scored 37 points in the second half and really made a good game out of this.
Yeah. Again, the final score 55-47. We're going to be having highlights here momentarily, but give credit to both teams for really an outstanding effort. Here's New Lexington in the half court, up and a little drag by Eli Stevens and up and in for the basket. And then West Muskingum banging the boards. It was a putback for Carter Smith, and then another shot inside off glass for Cade Porter, and then a steal and another basket by the Tornadoes' Connor Hill. How about Bentley Hansen with this little pull-up from 8? He was the game's leading scorer with 22. Turnaround shot by Jake Anton is good. Anton with another look inside, beautiful pass, and then a basket for the Tornadoes. Here's a drive for Reed Lemony off glass and good. And then finally for the Panthers, the 3-ball by Isaiah Stevens, and then another drive inside by Stevens, and then another with a left to right crossover and a bomb by Stevens. So he actually had in that fourth quarter when West Muskingum was making a run 2 3-balls, Ted. Those were huge.
And that last one we just saw in the highlight package was very closely contested. He doesn't need a lot of room to get that shot off, and when the team needs some points, he or Hansen usually come through.
Well, West Muskingum will drop to 2-2 on the season, and they drop to 1-2 in MVL play, 0-2 away from home. For the Panthers, they will move to 3-2 on the season and be 1-2 in MVL play, 2-1 at home. So I think better days coming for both teams, Ted. Very competitive, spirited basketball game, especially the comeback by the Tornadoes. They really got things moving in a hurry in that third quarter.
Yeah, I think the Tornadoes certainly have some work still to do this season. They're kind of helter-skelter at times and don't really have much continuity, but it's a long season, and they got a lot of great athletic young kids on this team, and I think they'll be fine. The Panthers, I think they're right where they want to be. Even though they're 3-2, they got losses to Tri-Valley and Maysville on their record, very good teams, but when I watch them play, it looks a lot like last year, but a recurring problem for them is early foul trouble, specifically with Stinson and Eli Stevens. It happened a year ago, and it's happening to start this year. It really puts them behind the 8-ball and really disrupts the rhythm of their rotation.
Yeah, that, and we talked a little bit in the pregame, and this is not to take anything away from the other starters for the Panthers because they're all outstanding players in their own right. But when you look at this game, 42 points of the 55, or 57 rather, that you need somebody else to pick it up.
You sure do. That's a common theme. You're going to see that almost every night. Those two combined for nearly 40 a game a year ago. But they're going to need certainly some offensive contributions from other guys. And Eli Stevens really needs to use his personal fouls down low where they count. He had a couple ticky-tack reach fouls 20 feet away from the basket, and he just can't afford to do that.
Yeah. He ended up with 4 points, but while he was on the floor, he is truly a factor as Eli Stevens.
Yeah, he's a big guy, but he moves well. He's got excellent footwork, great touch on his jump shot. His basketball IQ is really high. He really, when he's on the floor, they're a different team.
All right, let's take a look at some scoring. First for the Tornadoes, they were led by Jake Anton. Anton 5 field goals, including a tray, 1 of 3 from the line for 12. 5 points for Tavin Bennett, all in the fourth quarter. 2 field goals, 1 of 2 from the stripe for 5. Kyle Porter was 2 of 4 from the line for 2. Connor Hill, 4 field goals, 0 of 2 from the line for 8. Cade Porter, 4 field goals, 1 of those a tray, 2 of 4 from the line for 11. Reed Lemony off the bench, 6 points on 3 field goals, 0 of 1 from the line for 6. 1 field goal, 3 of 4 from the line for Carter Smith. He would end up with 5 points. For the New Lexington Panthers, they were led by Bentley Hansen, 5 field goals, 1 tray, 11 of 11 from the line for 22. Isaiah Stevens, 5 field goals, 2 twos, 3 threes, 7 of 12 from the line for 20. And then 5 points for Malachi Thresher, 2 field goals, 1 of 2 for line for 5. Lane Ratliff, 1 basket, 2 of 2 from the line for 4. Eli Stevens, 2 baskets, no free throws. He had 4. Key number, 21 of 27, free throw shooting for the New Lexington Panthers.
Those are both impressive numbers, both the attempts and the makes.
Yeah.
But New Lexington, one of the best free throw shooting teams in our area, and they're going to win an awful lot of games if they shoot it at that clip.
Yeah, 9 of 19, by the way, for the Tornadoes. So, you want a difference in the ball game. There it is, the free throw shooting. But, all in all, nice effort by both teams tonight. New Lexington does come away with the winner. Your final thoughts?
Yep. I was really impressed with the effort the Tornadoes put forth after they got behind big, and specifically a couple of their seniors. Jake Anton led the way in scoring for them with 12, but he left his imprint on this game defensively. He did an outstanding job on Isaiah Stevens, and it was only when he drew his 4th foul and eventually fouled out that Stevens was able to score 8 points late in this game. And one of the other seniors for them I was really impressed with was Reed Limity. He really provided a spark for them when they were making that run there in the second half.
We want to remind you that tonight's game is sponsored by 21st Century Program at New Lex. Call them if you'd like to enroll. The scoreboard is sponsored by 740 Thread, which is a Junction City company, and they're the local experts in custom printed and embroidered apparel. Finally, South 60 Films. We are the official streaming partner of New Lexington Athletics. Tomorrow night, Marcus McPeck and Ted Snyder will be over at West Muskingum, where these New Lexington Lady Panthers will take on the Lady Tornadoes over at West. And then next Saturday, our whole gang will be right back here as the Panthers will play an out-of-league contest against Bishop Watterson out of Columbus. So again, final score 55-47 in favor of New Lexington. Final thoughts?
Just looking forward to another great game between these two schools tomorrow. We're just going to watch the girls do it. I think it should be equally as competitive, and just looking forward to these MVL games.
All righty, that's going to do it here from New Lexington. Our thanks to Director Marcus McPeck, our partner Ted Snyder. I'm Howard Twiggs. Have a great weekend, everybody.